badge.
And in 5,
Sticker badge.
4, 3, 2, 1. Roll the open.
Hello and welcome to weekend doubles coverage of the Kentucky Derby Preps. Today we have the Grade 3 Tampa Bay Derby from Tampa Bay Downs. It's a Kentucky Derby Prep on the dirt, a mile and a 16th, a 50-point Kentucky Derby Prep race. As long as one doesn't scratch out anyway, we have a field of 7 currently, and we're I'd say about 15 minutes away from the start of this race. This was one race I was really excited about earlier, but something changed overnight. The one, Owen Almighty, the ownership group has come out to say that they are not aiming towards the Kentucky Derby. They're a little, there's a question mark as far as the distance goes. So they're headed towards the Pat Day Mile more than likely. So we'll see what happens. I've seen in the past where a horse runs extremely well after they say they're not going to the Derby, and then they catch Derby fever and they change their mind. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, currently a field of 7. The 1 is Owen Almighty. The 2 is Chancer McPatrick. The 3 is Hill Road. The 4 is Brodeur. The 5 is Filoso. The 6 is Naughty Rascal. And the 7 is Patch Adams. And I'm looking to see about 12 minutes to post right now. So we'll go ahead and start talk a little bit about the field. Again, I said a field of 7. Hopefully there's no scratches. Otherwise, the points will be minimized to 75%. And no Nick today. He's in Disneyland. He could pop in, but if you would like to join in and you have a camera and microphone, I will put the link in the middle or in the chat. Go ahead and pop in, and if you want to add an opinion or two, you're welcome to, because I'm all by myself today. It's just going to be a short 15 or 20-minute show. We have to keep covering these preps to be prepared for the Derby. But here's the field. A field of 7. The 1 is Owen Almighty, second last time out in the Sam F. Davis here at Tampa Bay Downs. Before that, he was DQ'd from first in the Pasco Stakes. A Naughty Rascal ended up getting first place because of that DQ. Irad Ortiz rides for Bryant Lynch. This one's by Speightstown. The 2 is Chancer McPatrick. This one's been off since November, where he was 6th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, undefeated up to that point. Flavian Pratt rides for Chad Brown, who has 2 entries in this race. This one's by McKenzie. The 3 is Hill Road, who was 3rd in that same Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Also been off 4 months. Started his career in Ireland on the turf with trainer Adrian Murray before coming over to the Chad Brown barn. He's a late closer. Tyler Gaffleone's in the saddle. This one's by Quality Road. The 4 is Brodeur, first last time out in a mile and 16th allowance race at Oaklawn Park. Before that, a winner in a 6 furlong race on an off track. Jose Ortiz rides for Mark Cassie. The 5 is Filoso. It's been off since late November, where he finished 6th in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Dylan Davis rides for Chad Summers. The 6 is Naughty Rascal, 6th last time out in the Sam F. Davis, where he was clearly overmatched. But I'm pulling for this one. I like the trainer, Gerald Bennett. He's had some tough health issues lately. And this race, he said this race is his Kentucky Derby. So I'm kind of pulling for Naughty Rascal. I know Naughty Rascal's kind of up against it right now. I think he's over 20-1. I can't really see. Might be even in the 30s to 1. But Naughty Rascal, the 6. And the 7 is Patch Adams, 4th last time out in the Southwest Stakes at Oaklawn Park. Not off to the best start in that race, but rallied nice from the back. I think he'll be a lot closer to the lead for this race. And Brad Cox will have Florent Giroux in the saddle. This one's into Mischief. So that's the field of 7. Um, I do see Owen Almighty, Naughty Rascal setting the pace. I don't think Brodeur can stay with them. I think Brodeur and Naughty Rascal will probably fade heading into the far turn. And then Owen Almighty will have to fight off Patch Adams and the others running from the back. But I think this is a pretty good race. Traditionally, there hasn't been a real strong contender in the Kentucky Derby that comes out of this race. I think the last one that I can think of that was considered highly was Taprit. Didn't I think he finished mid pack in the Derby? But I do like Patch Adams. I think Patch Adams is still growing, still learning. I'm hoping he can have a big race here because I'm kind of pulling him for on in the future pools. But yeah, that's what I see right now. I see Owen Almighty and Otto Rascal setting the pace. I don't see a blistering pace. I see 47, 48. Uh, but we'll see. I'm looking right now. It looks like we're still about 8 minutes out. So I'm going to give you a quick roundup of the Derby standings right now. Cole Battle leads with 70 points. He's in the Derby along with Citizen Bull, who has 60. And in my opinion, Citizen Bull is the horse to beat. The 3 is Sovereignty, who has, I'm sorry, the third place in points is Sovereignty, who has 60 points. The fourth one with 50 points is Flood Zone. Journalism has 47 and a half in fifth place. Then comes Getaway Car, Built, Matticat Road, Burnham Square, Sandman, Speed King, Chunk of Gold, River Thames, Sand Devil, Rodriguez, Disco Time, Captain Cook, John Hancock, California Burrito, and Tistastic. Currently the top 20 in the field, in the Kentucky Derby standings anyway. We have we're getting towards the end of the Derby Trail actually. We have the Tampa Bay Derby today, a 50-point race. It's 50, 25, 15, 10, and 5 distributed to first through fifth as long as there are 7 runners. Next week we'll have the Virginia Derby and we'll cover it right here on YouTube. Hopefully Nick will be back for that. And then the week after that, on the 22nd, we have 2 races. We have the Jeff Ruby Stakes. That's a grade 3 on the synthetic at Turfway. And then the Louisiana Derby, a grade 2 from Fairgrounds in New Orleans. And then on the 29th, we have the Arkansas Derby from Oaklawn Park and Hot Springs, Arkansas, as well as the Florida Derby from Gulfstream Park, both of those being grade 1s. And then there's also the road to it's the Japan road to the Kentucky Derby, the Fukuru States. Usually the winner of that will come over. And then on the 5th, April 5th, we have the Bluegrass, the Santa Anita Derby, and now the UAE Derby is run on April 5th, along with the Wood Memorial. So that's the big weekend now. And then we'll close it out with the Lexington on April 12th, the Lexington being a 20-point Kentucky Derby race, kind of a last gasp. There you see the horses now making their way, getting ready to make their way to the track. Again, if you feel like popping in and give me an opinion on this, there's no Nick. He's in Disneyland today, but we want to do a short show to cover the race. There is a link in the chat. Go ahead and follow the prompts there. And when I see you pop in, I'll put you into the broadcast. You can give me a quick opinion if you want. But right now, I'm coming into this. I'd say on Thursday, I really liked Owen Almighty. As you see, Owen Almighty right there. He was my top pick, but yesterday the decision for the connections to point him to the Pat Day Mile changed my opinion. This could be more of a workout for him. They're a little concerned about the Derby distance. So I get the feeling it's going to be more of a workout for him. They're not going to press him to win. So I'm kind of off of him as my top pick. Another one that I like is Chancer McPatrick. Might be the class of the race, but I think he might need a race. He's been off for quite a while. Plus, he runs from the back. And I'm not sure there's enough pace up front for him to close and get there. So I'll be using him underneath. Another one I'll be using underneath is Hill Road. This is my wild card. I think he could win if there is a a quicker than normal pace, but for the most part, I have him fighting for third and fourth with Chancellor McPatrick. My top pick is going to be Patch Adams. Um, he should be closer today, barring a bad start. Should have enough late to hold off all the others. I like Patch Adams over Owen Almighty, and then I like Chancellor McPatrick and Hill Road to fight it out for third and fourth. If you wanted to play a superfecta, I would go Patch Adams and Owen Almighty first and second, either way, and then Hill Road and Chancellor McPatrick third or fourth, either way. If you want to do a Stone Cold Super, I would go Patch over Owen, over Hill, over Chancellor. In fact, I'm doing a $10 Patch Adams over Owen Almighty, over Hill Road, over Chancellor McPatrick. That's my Stone Cold, my Gerald Stone Cold Superfecta. We're about 3 minutes out. You can see the one Owen Almighty and the 3 Hill Road. The 3 Hill Road, it's just really, I don't know what to think. He's been off for quite a while. His first 2 races were in Ireland on the turf. Had a real nice close in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, where he finished third. But I just don't know if he's good enough to win. It's just, I mean, he's worth it at, let's see, Hill Road is, I think it's 7-1, it looks like. I mean, you got to like those odds. If you're a believer, he can get there, but we'll see. So, yeah, Patch Adams currently looks like 2-1 now. Let me go to a bigger screen here. There you go. Owen Almighty currently 3-1. Chancellor McPatrick 9-5. Hill Road 7-2. The 4 Brodeur 17-1. The 5 Filoso 21-1. The 6 Naughty Rascal, my sentimental favorite, at 36-1, and the 7 Patch Adams at 2-1. I'm really pulling for Naughty Rascal because his trainer Gerald Bennett is kind of a local hero here at Tampa Bay Downs, and he's had quite a few health issues, but he's still training, still out there, and he said this is his Kentucky Derby. So I'm kind of pulling for Naughty Rascal. I think he's up against it. I don't think he has much of a chance, but in some kind of a miracle, if he did happen to win, I would feel pretty good about that. But again, I'm going with Patch Adams here over Owen Almighty, over Hill Road, over Chancellor McPatrick. If you have an opinion, go ahead and put it in the chat there, and I'll share that here as they continue to warm up. And we'll just continue to watch them here as they warm up. Yeah, no Nick today. Nick is off in Disneyland having fun. I thought he might pop in right at race time, and I guess there's still a chance he could, but more than likely he's on a ride or having something good to eat there at Disneyland. So we'll fill him in on all the details. All right, 0 minutes to post now. They should be heading towards the gate here in a few seconds. If you're betting, good luck. Again, a 50-point race here, 50 points to the winner. 25 to second place, 15 to third, 10 to fourth, and 5 points to the fifth place horse. And we'll go ahead and turn up the audio here for the track as they move towards the gate. We'll go ahead and silence the mic here. And good luck if you're betting the Tampa Bay Downs or the Tampa Bay Derby from Tampa Bay Downs. Good luck. There's the 1, Owen Almighty. Looks like there's going to be another 30 or 40 seconds till they make their way to the gate. initially set to go off at 2:35. That's why I scheduled this for 2:30. I'm trying to keep these shows short, 5 minutes before the race, and then maybe 5 or 10 after the race to talk about what we saw, how we value the race. But this one looks like it's over by about 12 minutes from its initial post time. Kind of a sandy dirt track here. You'll
The
see
horses are now approaching the starting gate. The Lamb Home South Tampa Bay Derby in 1 minute.
you'll see quite a bit of kickback coming up around the first turn and then coming out of the last turn. That's one of the reasons why I don't like the late closers in this. But we'll see. Chancellor McPatrick is the big. Uh, he's probably the class, but just don't know if he needs a race or not. But we'll see what happens. None of the horses seem to be acting up.
The
All seem
horses have
pretty
reached the gate. It's post time. They're
pretty
lining up for
calm.
today's 11th and featured event, the 45th running of the Lamb Home South. Tampa
Good
Bay
luck to
Derby.
you if you're betting the
A
race.
Grade 3 event, Kentucky Derby points on the lines, a mile and a 16th and a field of 7. Your post time favorite, number 2, Chancellor McPatrick, right at that 8-5 morning line. Here's Owen Almighty coming up. Chancellor McPatrick, the favorite, will break from gate 2 for Flavien Prat. Hill Road coming up. Brodeur to gate number 4. DJ Stable Mark Cassidy looking to team up once again as they took the Florida Oaks in the previous race. Here's Filoso to gate 5, 20-1 price. Right now, second longest shot in the field, rather. Just awaiting Naughty Rascal. Patch Adams will be all set for a start. 45th running of the Lamb Home South Tampa Bay Derby. Patch Adams, Florent Giroux to the outside draw. They're in the gate. And the race is on in the Lamb Home South Tampa Bay Derby. Got away to a good start. Owen Almighty to the inside. Brodeur flashing good early speed, and Patch Adams wants to join the party up on the outside. It's Brodeur and Owen Almighty. They're 1-2. Patch Adams to the outside away third. Naughty Rascal, Chancellor McPatrick, they're 4th and 5th. Just in behind them, Filoso had to tap on the brakes momentarily from that 6th position, and Hill Road takes up his spot at the back of affairs early on as Owen Almighty and Irad Ortiz Jr. going to cut the corner now a length in front. In the second spot goes Brodeur. Chancellor McPatrick stays toward the inside. Patch Adams right to that one's outside. They're 3rd and 4th. At about 3 off the leaders, they move on to the back stretch. Naughty Rascal. Patch Adams looked like he maybe got out a little bit there. Lost a spot to Naughty Rascals. Now back 5th. 23 and 4 was the opening quarter mile time for Owen Almighty, who takes him up the back stretch. Some mild pressure from Brodeur right to that one's outside. They're linked in front of Chancellor McPatrick. Patch Adams now back in gear up on the outside of Naughty Rascal. They're together at 4th and 5th. The 2 at the back, Hill Road and Filoso. 48 seconds flat for the opening half mile. Owen Almighty, Irad Ortiz Jr., Brodeur, Jose Ortiz, brothers at war past the 3/8 pole. They're a length and a half in front of Chancellor McPatrick, who's biding his time toward the inside. Filoso starting to launch up on the outside of Patch Adams. They're racing together out wide. Chancellor McPatrick going to need a seam. Owen Almighty brings him around to the top of the stretch. Brodeur, Patch Adams 3 wide. Filoso on the far outside. Chancellor McPatrick still waiting for that seam to arrive as Owen Almighty turns him in. Owen Almighty to the 8th pole, 2 lengths in front of Chancellor McPatrick, who tries to come after that one, but Owen Almighty's 3 lengths in front. Chancellor McPatrick, a final 16th. Hill Road up the inside. It's Owen Almighty in front. Owen Almighty by 4. Owen, the all-powerful Owen Almighty, wins the Tampa Bay Derby. Chancellor McPatrick was 2nd, 3rd, went to Hill Road. Patch Adams 4th.
Well, I got a feeling the connections for Owen Almighty are going to change their mind, but pretty impressive. 142.3. It's exactly where you want to be when you're headed for the Derby. A mile and 16th. 142.3 did the mile and 136.46. I don't know why you wouldn't go for the Derby. They don't think the distance is right for this horse, but I got a feeling they're going to change their mind. Owen Almighty wins. A nice run from Chancellor McPatrick. He'll need more points to get into the Derby. Those are his
1,
first.
2, 3,
No, I think
7
he
the
has
official
I think
order
he has
here in the
10
Tampa
points
Bay Derby.
already. Let's see here. But a nice, really nice finish.
42.30 the final time.
Nice kick there by Owen Almighty. I'm gonna think they're gonna reconsider this Derby, because that was a heck of a run. I'll be curious to see what the numbers come up with, the speed figures on this. But I like that. I like this horse coming into yesterday until I heard he was off the Derby trail. But
Fifth was number 4, Brodeur. 1, 2, 3.
I was gonna put a late future Derby bet on him yesterday in Reno, but he was taken off the board, and I didn't understand why, because he wasn't a scratch. Then I found out that he was being taken off the Derby trail, headed for the Pat Day Mile, because they have Derby distance question marks about this one. But I think after seeing that, you need to go to the Derby. So we'll see. That was very impressive. If you think Chancellor McPatrick is that good, Owen Almighty crushed him. My top 4 right in there: Owen Almighty, Chancellor McPatrick, Hill Road, Patch Adams. I was a little backwards on that. I thought it would be Patch Adams and Owen Almighty on top, and Chancellor McPatrick and Hill Road below. But a nice finish there for Owen Almighty, and 50 points, 50 Kentucky Derby points for Owen Almighty with his already. I think he already has 20, maybe even 30. So he's in the Derby if he wants to be, but we'll see. So we'll see if the connections change their mind. Again, we just wanted to get in here and watch this race. I liked Patch Adams coming in. I don't think Patch Adams will be going to the Derby. Chancellor McPatrick and Hill Road will need another shot. They're running out of time. They've got maybe one more shot, maybe the Bluegrass, or maybe even the Lexington. Chancellor McPatrick may aim for the Lexington and pick up those 20 points. The 20 there and the 25 he picked up today definitely will get him in, and I believe he had some points already. So we'll see. But there's the payouts there: 783, 4240 for Owen Almighty. Chancellor McPatrick paid 360 and 260. Hill Road 280. That's it from Tampa Bay Downs. Thanks for watching. The Tampa Bay Derby goes to Owen Almighty, and we'll see if those connections change their mind. But for missing Nick Sievers, I'm Gerald, and we'll see you next week here on YouTube for more Kentucky Derby preps. Thank you and good night.